mentioned that earlier when you said that you had those on Netflix. I'm just going to go ahead and take those and get rid of those in here. So what I'll do is out of these three right here, which did you like the best out of these three?
Probably the Great Mormon.
Marvin Hicks Classics. You like?
Okay, so I'm just going to put this here, and I'm going to put this over here. So the way it would work basically is I'll get rid of the Swan Princess movies. I'm going to put the hymns in here. And then what will happen is when you get your first shipment, you'll get the Kids' Ten Commandments, the Family Hour Stories, and then you can have either one of those for free. And I actually like them both. But I tell you what I'll do. I'm just new in the area, and we just work 100% off referrals. And if you can help me out with a few referrals, what I'll do is I'll throw in both of them. Okay? If you can help me with a couple of referrals at the end. So what will happen is you'll get the hymn classics, the Family Hour Stories, the Great Mormon Women, and the Kids' Ten Commandments. And then all that will come, you'll get the coloring activity books. And then the big decision you need to make is if you want to do the Heroes or the Prophets is your fourth series. Which out of those two would you rather do?
Don't you want to learn about the Prophet's lives? It'd be good for the older kids.
I guess.
Okay. And honestly, you can't go wrong with either one of them. And this is just my personal opinion, and I could be off on this. The kids will watch these a lot more. But like you said, you can't go wrong with the Prophet's Lives, and they're really, really good. And so it would be a tough choice for me on which one. If I was doing it for the kids, I would do this one. If I was doing it, for you guys and maybe your couple of older kids, I'd probably sway that way. But if it were me and with all the young kids and stuff you have, I would probably, honestly, I'd probably do this one in your case. You don't have to, but that's just my opinion on that. Which would you rather do then, do you think, out of those two?
I'll let you choose.
I'm the one that has to stay home with all of the demons during the day, so we'll keep the Heroes.
Okay. And so all I need to have you do is just go ahead and fill out here and here, and we can go ahead and get you going in the program.
Well,
There's a problem we have. So, we're in the military, move around every 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
We're always trying to cut back on weight, we're cutting back on stuff. Is there any kind of plan, or are we just doing it digitally?
Yeah, you can do that.
We don't really like DVDs.
Yeah. You don't even use DVDs at all, really?
no. Well, we're in the process of just getting rid of all of them and getting rid of our DVD player.
So if we had a streaming option, that'd be something you guys would 100% do then? You'd be interested in that?
Streaming would be nice. Just put up in Alaska, they have data caps and stuff. So for kids want to watch them over and over again, it's kind of hard for. So you guys don't have a digital copy or something like that?
No, the way we basically do it is we do have streaming options.
Yeah.
And what we'll do, and I tell people, right now things are kind of in a flux. Disney's doing certain types of streaming. Warner Brothers is doing other types of streaming, digital copies. They're doing different things like that. And so we've kind of just been hanging out trying to figure out where it's going to go and what they're going to do. But we've just been doing the regular DVD copy. And then the cool thing about Living Scriptures is we knew people wanted to cut down on space and do that. So what we've done is the way it comes is we have 8 DVDs that come in a little case like this. So you can have our complete library, and it's only about that wide. So it's really not a lot that way. Yeah. And then the other thing that we're doing is we're in the beta testing phase right now with our streaming. And we'll actually give you the first 3 months free of streaming. And then at that point, we don't even have the prices or anything figured out like that for what we're going to do. I think it's probably going to be like $5 if you want to add streaming to it. But what you can do is after you've done it for the first 3 months, they'll send something out to you, and then you can decide, hey, we want to do streaming, we don't, or whatever. But most people really still like the hard copies. Not that everybody does, but there's so many issues with streaming and cap rates, like you said, on the data plans that people have and stuff like that. And honestly, you don't want to be going, hey, quit watching the Book of Mormon. Would you quit watching Savior America? Because we're over on our streaming costs this month, and people just don't really want to put themselves in that spot. And the other thing is right now it's beautiful in Alaska, and you have light 24 hours a day. Literally, you can go out at 2 o'clock in the morning and do stuff. It's light enough you can do that. But where people really love this stuff is in the winter, because it's dark that long too, and it really gives your kids something to do. And yeah, kids don't care whether they're watching SpongeBob SquarePants, or whether they're watching the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or whether they're watching, you know, a Bandai and Quinoa. They don't care. They just want to be entertained. But as parents, the thing that people really love about it is, you know, they're getting good stuff. In fact, I want to tell you a quick story. I had a lady, she came up to me, and she was they said they just made her primary present. She was in her mid-50s. Her kids were all gone out of the house. And she says, I wanted to get these for my kids, but I just thought they were too expensive, and I just didn't do it. And she says, they made me primary president, and she says, all my kids are gone. I go in there, I start telling stories, and I'm like, who knows this story? And there's these 3 families, their kids just kept going, ding, 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 knew the answers. And so she went and asked the parents, what do you do with your kids? They know all the stories. And every one of them said, we have living scriptures. And she says, you know what, my kids went without these, but my grandkids won't. And she bought a complete set for each of her 3 daughters, and for her grandkids. And she says, I've seen what they do, and I've never been to anybody's house that's had these, that used them, that regretted using them. I haven't. Now, I've been to people's homes that didn't have them, and they're like, oh, those are stupid. And I've been to people's home, when I go in there, and I'm like, they had them, and they're like, yeah, we don't use them. And I look at them, and the wrappers aren't even taken off. They're still in the wrapper. Yeah, you have to put them in the DVD. But if they've watched them, your kids, you'll never regret it. You'll consider it one of the best decisions you ever made. So what I'll do, like I said, I'm just doing this to help me kind of get referrals, but what I'll do is I'll throw in the Great Mormon Women as an extra bonus. And then what will happen is you'll get the hymns, the Kids' 10 Commandments. I'll throw this in extra. The company will throw in the Family Hour stories, and then the coloring activity books. And then you just do the first DVD, and then it's never any more than that. You just get 1 a month. Would that work for you that way?
Well, I'd rather just wait and save up some money and then just buy them all up front, because I just don't like doing the monthly payment thing.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know, maybe tell me if I'm wrong here or not, but when I go around to most people associate monthly payments like with interest and finance charges and delinquent charges and stuff like that. And honestly, it's not the families up on the hill. Is there a hill here in Anchorage?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not the families up on the hill
Or on the bay.
that could do these, or the people down the bay. What it really is it's the young families that have a lot of mouths to feed, and they're working up their career ladder. That's who we made this program for. Because most people, I mean, we've got over $4,000 worth of product. And most people can't write a check for $4,000 in the state that they're in. You know, they're trying to get by. And so we've set the Tape of the Month program for our families exactly like you. And we have over 60,000 people doing our Tape of the Month program. And the reason being is because if you put it off and you do it later when you save up, like you get down the road and you won't have any more money then than you have now. In fact, we had a lady bumped into her. She came to the door. She's like, I'm so mad at you. And I'm like, why? What did I do? She says, 4 years ago a guy came by and I wanted to get these. And she says, now my kids are 4 years older. And she says, and we still don't have them. And she says, I'm not going to let that happen again. She says, I'm just going to do your Tape of the Month program and just do it. And what her family decided to do, she says, I figured out how I'm going to do it. She says, rather than doing cold cereal at our house, she says, we're going to do oatmeal. And she says, we're going to change that one thing, and it'll give us more than enough money to be able to do this program. But like I said, you just get 1 a month. You can do it that way. Pay for them as you get them. Now, I was going to ask you one other question. So, let me ask you guys, how many bonus points have I given right there?
4.
4. So how many more do I have?
1.
1
2
for each
two
check?
with each check.
Yeah, so
Oh.
I got 2 more.
You're doing 5 sets, aren't you?
Yeah, that's 6 sets right there.
Well,
one a
okay,
month.
but here's the thing.
Yeah.
This is what I need to tell you. I'm not telling them, if you're getting the minutia of there's 12 in this one, there's 14 in that
Oh
one,
yeah.
you just can't do it. So right now I'm just doing Book of Mormon, first side of New Testament, Old Testament, and first 12 of Hebrews. That's all
Okay.
that's in my mind, that's where I'm at, okay?
Okay.
So that's where I'm at. So,
Wait, did you say both halves of the New Testament?
1 half, first half. Okay,
More
so I'm just breaking it up in my mind. But you guys are going to keep giving me objections, and then I'm going to show you where to go from there, okay? So what I'm going to do, so I have 2 bonus points, right? And you said you really like music. Well, we have this thing, it's called the sing-alongs. And what's really fun with this, and the military guys love this, but what they've done is they instead of, you know, like on Disney, they have the bouncing ball that does that. We've actually taken Laban's head and Laban's head bounces along the bottom to let the kids know, just joking. They didn't do that. That would be weird. But they do have the words that light up on the bottom to teach them left to right progression. Sorry, I had to figure out what that was. I couldn't remember whether it was
Our
right
kids
or
have a
left
hard
or
time with that.
what country we were in. But anyway, they've taken all the music off of all of our DVDs, and each one has a theme song, and they made music videos. And people, especially with kids under about 6, love these because just beautiful, peaceful, nice music, and they'll put them on before the kids have a nap. And your kids will be running around singing, you know, I'll go and do the things the Lord commands, or my hands are the Lord's hands, or just awesome, awesome music. But what I'll do is I'm just going to throw those in as an extra bonus as well. And so you'll get the Kids 10 Commandments, the hymn classics, and then both of these, and then it's just one DVD a month. You just pay for them as you get them. So if I were to throw that in, can we go ahead and include you in the program?
Well, maybe.
Can you do just the Book of Mormon set?
Well, we kind of like we don't like to make big decisions like this on the spot, like salesman coming in here and all that. So
Seriously, you think I'm a salesman?
maybe
I'm just a short fat guy, dude. Seriously.
maybe you could come back
Next week?
like in a week.
Next week.
And we'll look at our budget and see if this is something we can fit in. And
Well, you guys kind of threw a couple of things out there, and one of the things I want to say is you can get just the Book of Mormon if you want to do that. If that's all you want to do, that's awesome. No one ever does that because it doesn't cost you any more a month to go with the 4 sets. It's the same amount. It just takes you a little bit longer, and plus you don't get all the free bonuses that come with our program. And so people want all the free bonuses. And the reason we're doing the free bonuses is people used to buy this stuff, but we have so much stuff now, we're just giving that as a free perk. So most people, about 70% of families just go with the 4 sets and just do our tape of the month program because it doesn't cost them any more a month. It just takes a little bit longer.
Oh, that's what I was trying to remember. How
So-
long does it take?
yeah, it's like a
Well, on
5-year
this
deal.
deal, and you'll probably only have about 7 moves. You know, you'll be back to South Carolina, Korea, you know, maybe Afghanistan, then back before it's done. But on that program, it takes about 7 years and 4 months. I'm just joking, it doesn't take that long. The way it works is there's about 12 in each of those series, and you get about 1 a month. And so just a little under 4 years. But most people, what they'll do is if they get a little bit back on the tax return, or their parents say, hey, what should I get your kids for Christmas? They'll just direct a little bit of that towards this. And most people finish up in about 2.6 years.
Okay. So wait, when we're probably gonna end up out of the country sometime. Will we still be able to get our movies?
Yeah.
Does the shipping increase? How does shipping work? Because I mean, we live out here in Alaska and shipping rates are crazy out here.
Well, what we do is we drop ship. There's so many people in Alaska that are getting these. We actually do a big drop shipment here. And so they put it to Anchorage, and then they have some Iditarod teams that, you know, the little dog sled teams, and they actually deliver them. And we found that we can dramatically decrease the cost of shipping that way. No, I'm just joking. No.
That's
The
sweet.
shipping's exactly the same. For whether you live in Utah or whether you live here, the shipping's the same. And we don't make any money on shipping, we just do what it costs us to do the shipping. But basically it's $4.95 for the shipping, that's the way it is. And so when everything's said and done, it comes to $37.85 because you get to pay taxes, you know, on
You don't have
that.
taxes.
You don't have any here?
Nope, zero
Not
taxes.
in Anchorage.
Not in Anchorage.
Other cities, yeah, but there's no
So
such-
what's the rate?
35, 45.
Oh, so I would say, so the cool thing is everybody else, like when we're in California, it's 9.5% tax. And the cool thing is here, you guys don't have to pay any tax, that's awesome. So it just comes to 35,
35, 45. Yeah.
and then that's all it costs here. And then you just get the 1 a month. But I tell you what I'm gonna do, just to make it just a little bit more worth your while. So did you like these or not so much? Not so much, okay. You'd answer a little quicker if you liked it. What I'm gonna do, I'm reaching in the bag of goodies here. But this right here is called the Book of Mormon. You guys have heard of that, obviously.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure why they didn't make this gold, but they made it cream colored. I'm not sure why. but they made these kind of a little U. But it goes all the way through the Book of Mormon, and what I really like about these is all the dirt in the cover. That is really awesome.